Security tightened in the capital after a section of farmers protesting go on a rampage in the capital Delhi on Republic Day. Breaks barricades, attacks police. Police act with restraint. Home Minister Amit Shah reviews the situation. International Monetary Fund forecast 11.5% GDP growth for India for the year 2021 in its latest World Economic Outlook update. Reflects rebounds of Indian economy. IMF also forecasts global growth for 2021 at 5.5%, 0.3% points higher than its October estimates. In Rajasthan, at least 8 people killed, 4 others injured in a road accident in Tonk. All victims belong to a family were returning from Kattusham temple. Sri Lanka to receive 5 lakh doses of made in India COVISHIELD vaccine becomes the 8th nation to receive India's gift of COVID-19 vaccines under vaccine Maitri. India notches up another success in its fight against COVID-19. Daily cases fall below the 10,000 mark for the first time in 7 months. Over 20 lakh healthcare workers vaccinated till yesterday. Over 10 crore COVID-19 cases reported worldwide with over 21,66,000 fatalities. UK becomes first European nation to cross 1 lakh deaths. Prime Minister Boris Johnson takes responsibility of lives lost due to COVID-19. And Manchester City moves to the top of the English Premier League for the first time this season. Gundogan slams a brace as City thrashed West Bromwich Albion 5-0 to secure an 11th straight victory in all competitions. Good morning, welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. What was supposed to be a peaceful protest turned out to be anything but peaceful. A mob went on a rampage in the capital, ostensibly in protest against the new agricultural laws. It indulged in wanton violence and destruction of public property. All this on a day when the nation celebrated its 72nd Republic Day. Here's a report.
While the nation was celebrating the 72nd Republic Day, many parts of the capital city of Delhi were witnessing scenes of unruly mobs going berserk atop tractors and vandalizing national symbols and disrespecting the law of the land. The tractor rally that was meant to be a peaceful form of protest went off the track and caused utter mayhem at Red Fort. One of the protesters climbed the flag post at the Red Fort and hoisted a flag in utter contempt of national traditions and customs. We will come back to the act which put the entire country to shame at Red Fort, but first let us have a look at some other visuals which have exposed the so-called claims of a peaceful tractor rally by the farmers. Many places in the capital witnessed stone pelting, vandalism and arson by the protesters, be it the Meerut Expressway, the Akshardham Temple crossing at National Highway 24, ITO crossing, Mukarba Chowk in northwest Delhi, Nangloi, Mayur Vihar or Tikri border. Everywhere, the story was the same, the scenes were the same. Unruly mob, hell-bent on violence in utter disregard to the promises made to the authorities. First, let's talk about the Delhi-Ghaziabad border. Farmers were given permission to enter the periphery of the city for their tractor rally on Republic Day after a court battle. It was supposed to be a peaceful rally with a designated route that was agreed upon by all. Crowds, however, swelled at the borders at around 8 AM even before the parade started at the Rajpath, and thousands entered the national capital on foot. The route agreed upon was not followed at all. Police tried to stop the agitators near Pandav Nagar on the National Highway 24, but there too the protesters targeted the police picket itself and even tried to attack the policemen with weapons. And then they proceeded further. When the protesters reached the Akshardham temple, they defied police barricades and marched on towards the busy intersection of the ITO. At the ITO crossing, the violent protesters wanted to proceed towards the India Gate area, as the police could not have allowed that at any cost. Heavy violence ensued in the areas, and protesters were seen fighting pitched battles with the policemen there. Some of the protesters even tried to run over the policemen with their tractors, an audacious act to even contemplate in the national capital. The protesters deliberately ran the tractors in top speed towards the policemen in a threatening manner. When the police tried to stop them by placing DTC buses on the road, the protesters removed them after repeatedly banging their tractors on the buses.
The clash between the police and these particular hooligans, I don't want to even call them farmers, they are hooligans, and this is definitely not the tractor rally, this is the chaos rally they have created. They're trying to force their way into the national capital, and the resulting in the destruction of the public property.
Thousands of protesters reached the Red Fort area after breaking through barricades, attacking policemen with sticks and other weapons, and deviating from the agreed route. Visuals of protesters hoisting their flags at the flag post at the iconic Red Fort were captured by the cameras. The protesters simply barged their way through all the barricades. Some protesters hoisted a sacred flag at the second flagpole. Thousands of protesters stood at the huge gates of Red Fort, and the policemen were not allowed to enter. The police were seen trying to control the crowd in vain. Later, the police removed the flags. The protesting farmers at Singhu and Tikri borders also broke through the barricades and entered Delhi even before the time allotted for the rally. After that, some of the protesters sat in a dharna at Mukarba Chowk in northwest Delhi. There, they tried to go past police barricades, and violent clashes with the police ensued. They also vandalized public property and DTC buses. Almost similar scenes were witnessed at Nangloi. There also the tractor rally became a violent march, and protesters broke all the barricades and went berserk. To stop them, the police, including the lady jawans, had to virtually sit on the road.
उग्र किसान थे, उन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने ट्रैक्टर से लोगों को, पुलिस वालों को, सुरक्षा बलों को कुचलने की कई जगह कोशिश की गई, बैरिकेड्स तोड़ दिए गए, जो हमारे बसेज थी, पुलिस की बसेज थी, उनको तोड़ दिया गया, और इस तरीके से व्यापक पैमाने पे तोड़फोड़ की और नुकसान किया। इस तरह से असॉल्ट हुआ है पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स के ऊपर, जो पुलिस बल के ऊपर, उसमें जो भी लीगल एक्शन बनता है वो निश्चित तौर पे लिया जाएगा।
Similar scenes were seen at the Canal bypass, and protesters there also clashed with the police. Meanwhile, the Delhi metro services were also affected as a result of violence in the city. The exit and entry gates were closed in many nearby stations. The authorities also suspended internet services in some area for some time as a result. The tractor rally was supposed to be a symbolic act of peaceful protest to highlight their demands. Rather, it left a trail of destruction of public property, ugly visuals of act of violence and vandalism, and utter disrespect for the sanctity of national symbols and monuments. Delhi was kept on tenterhooks by the protesting farmers as the police struggled to take control of the situation and restore law and order. 3 routes were cleared for the farmers to hold the parade: 63-kilometer route near Singhu border, 62.5-kilometer long route from Tikri border, and a 68-kilometer long route from Ghazipur border. With bureau inputs, DD India.
A section of farmers protesting go on a rampage in the capital city on Republic Day. Security also tightened on the borders linking to the national capital. Moving on, Home Minister Amit Shah has reviewed the situation arising out of the farmers' agitation in the national capital. The meeting was attended by Union Home Secretary, Delhi Police Commissioner and senior officers. The Home Minister was briefed about the law and order situation and the steps taken to maintain it. Sources said during the meeting, it was decided to increase the number of paramilitary forces in Delhi. Well, as many as 83 police personnel were injured after violence erupted at various places during the protesting farmers' tractor parade on Tuesday. The injured officials have been admitted to several hospitals, including the trauma center of the Civil Line Hospital in Delhi's North District and the Lok Nayak Hospital. Meanwhile, Indian Railways is offering a full refund of tickets to passengers who missed their trains from Delhi due to the farmers' rally. Those who could not board the trains will have to apply for full refund of trains departing from all the stations of Delhi up to 9 p.m. on Tuesday through ticket deposit receipt and e-ticket deposit receipt for e-tickets. Railways has issued instructions to all the stations in Delhi in this regard. In a tragic incident, at least 8 people killed and 4 others severely injured in an accident in Rajasthan's Tonk last night. All the victims belonged to a family in Madhya Pradesh's Rajgarh who were on a visit to Khatu Sham temple in Rajasthan. While returning, their car was hit by a high-speed trailer coming from behind. 8 people died on the spot, while 4 other people were referred to Jaipur in critical condition. Well, moving to some business stories there, the International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, has projected 11.5% growth rate for India this year. The IMF's growth projections for India in its latest World Economic Outlook update released on Tuesday reflected a strong rebound in the economy, which is estimated to have contracted by 8% in 2020 due to the pandemic. In its latest update, the IMF projected 11.5% growth rate for India in 2021. This makes India the only major economy of the world to register a double-digit growth in 2021. If the IMF projection is anything to go by, then India would be the only major economy of the world to register a double-digit growth in 2021 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, moving on to India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurti, has announced a pledge of 1.5 lakh US to activities of the UN Fund this year. Speaking at the high-level peace-building replenishment conference on Tuesday, Tirumurti said India has always played a constructive and significant role in the context of peace-building through its extensive development partnership with developing countries, particularly with Africa and Asia.
I would like to assure you all of our sincere commitment to remain engaged in peace building. We extend our support to the activities of the Peace Building Fund, and as a token of our engagement, India would like to announce today a pledge of $150,000 to the fund's activities and program this year. India has always been known for its unflinching commitment to peacekeeping. They are convinced that nation-building activities will be strengthened even more if the road ahead includes strong support for peace building as well.
While highlighting India's engagement with Palestine, Tirumurti said India has been consistently supporting Palestinian nation-building efforts through human resource development and institutional building. He said India is currently undertaking several projects in many sectors, including health, education and technology of around $72 million US. He added that India has also supplied critical life-saving drugs and medical equipment to Palestine as assistance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, Sri Lanka will be getting 5 lakh doses of made in India COVISHIELD vaccine today. Sri Lanka becomes the 8th nation to receive India's gift of COVID-19 vaccines. Sri Lanka on Friday has approved the emergency use of COVISHIELD vaccine being manufactured by the Serum Institute of India. Starting last Wednesday, India has gifted vaccines to 7 countries. These include Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Seychelles, along with Mauritius. The first recipients of the vaccine in Sri Lanka will be 2.5 lakh personnel in the health service sector and members of armed forces and police who were deployed in the quarantine and intermediate COVID-19 treatment facilities. The countrywide COVID-19 vaccination program was conducted successfully on the 11th day. In view of Republic Day celebrations across the country, limited number of sessions in limited states were conducted on Tuesday. As per the provisions, till 7 p.m., 5,615 beneficiaries were vaccinated in 5 states. The cumulative number of healthcare workers vaccinated against COVID-19 has crossed 20,29,000 till Jan 26th. A total of 20 lakh 29,424 beneficiaries have been vaccinated till 7 p.m. on Tuesday through 36,572 sessions. A quick update on COVID-19 from across the country. As per the latest data released by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.91%. 13,320 COVID-19 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to 1,359,305. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country stand at 1,76,498. India's case fatality rate is at 1.44%, which is one of the lowest in the world. Well, the 72nd Republic Day was celebrated with enthusiasm and zeal across the country on Tuesday. The Republic Day was also a delight for the people in Odisha's Malkangiri district. For the first time in 5 decades, the Republic Day was celebrated in 2 panchayats in Swabhimanachal, which was previously known as the cut-off area. The celebration was attended by the local population, including school children from Gurasetu, Sodamba and other interior villages. Well, for more on this story, Rishikesh Kilari, the SP of Malkangiri, Odisha, joining us on the phone line. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Give us a sense, how difficult was this task of, especially entering these areas, and how did you manage to achieve it?
It has been indeed it has been a difficult task for some time. After the one dam was constructed there, that area was cut off from the other mainland.
Okay.
Bridge was opened by our Honorable CM in July 2018. Thereafter, we have established 4 COBs and 1 police station over there. That has really created a safe and secure environment over there. And first and foremost thing I would like to emphasize is we were able to win over the confidence of local public. That has really played a game changer. We are giving them everything which they need. Our CM had declared 100 crore package for development of that area.
Okay.
That is really turning up like anything, and people are seeing a lot of development on ground.
Okay, also when it comes to the first time that you see Republic Day celebrations, they are taking place in that interior part of Odisha, were there challenges, and were you skeptical, when you went about, with the celebrations, especially going into that, uncharted territory?
Yes, definitely it was a challenging situation, but last year on the exact 26th of January 2020, one incident had happened over
True.
there. People had retaliated back the Naxals, and then we got to know that people themselves are not liking Naxals in that area, so that we can venture in that area. We were able to go in that area and clear that area of Maoist influence. It has been long affected, but right now we can fairly say it has become a safe. A lot of road works, mobile connectivity, drinking water, health, education facilities are being given over there.
Okay, when it comes to the state, how has been the state's response, especially since over the last 5 decades, we haven't seen a national flag, especially in those 2 districts being hoisted. This time around when it took place, how has the state responded to it?
It has been really good, actually. The wholehearted support which has been given by the state government as well as the Home Ministry. We were able to venture out in a confident manner over there. We are going on both ways, like on the security front, we are carrying out a lot of operations in that area, joint operations, in fact, with the adjoining states. On the developmental front, we are taking up a lot of developmental works. As I said, in that, we are getting a lot of help from the state, as well as the response has been swift and in a coordinated manner.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Congratulate you and thank you for joining us this morning, giving us those updates there. A pleasure having you there. Rishikesh Kilari, the SP from Malkangiri joining us and giving us an update there, especially when it comes to the flag hoisted in 2 districts, which has never seen the unfurling of the national flag in the last 5 decades. Well, shifting focus to now some global stories, and first up, taking a look at COVID-19 numbers from across the world on how the numbers are 10 crore. That's the number, 10 crore COVID-19 cases being reported worldwide. Global death toll due to COVID-19 now crossing 21 lakh. The current number as we speak, 21 lakh 67,000 deaths. Global recoveries, the big positive that one looks at when you look at these numbers, 7 crore 28 lakh recoveries world over. United States worst affected in terms of infections, in terms of fatalities, in terms of infections, over 2 crore 60 lakhs, in terms of death, 4 lakh 35,000. That's the mark that America has crossed. Up next, in the second position when it comes to death toll in the world, Brazil follows United States in terms of death toll, with 2 lakh 18,000 lives being lost in the South American nation. Well, Britain is reeling under the threat of the new strain of COVID-19 variant, with over 3 crore 68 lakh 97,000 cases of COVID-19. It is amongst Europe's hardest hit countries from the disease. The country has registered more than 1 lakh fatalities due to COVID-19. Amidst this appalling situation in the country, UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has taken full responsibility of the lives lost in the country due to COVID-19. He also told the government made its best efforts to minimize the loss and vowed that it would continue to do the same.
I am deeply sorry for every life that has been lost, and of course as Prime Minister I take full responsibility for everything that the government has done. What I can tell you is that we truly did everything we could and continue to do everything that we can to minimise loss of life and to minimise suffering in what has been a very, very difficult stage and a very, very difficult crisis for our country, and we will continue to do that.
Well, I would just stand corrected, especially when it comes to the number of infections there in United Kingdom. The infections there in the country stand at 36 lakhs 89,746, and the death toll now crossing the 1 lakh mark. So becomes the 4th country there to have a death toll now of over 1 lakh deaths. While staying with European countries, moving to Netherlands, where protests against nationwide lockdown continued in Dutch town of Hilversum in Netherlands for the 4th consecutive day. However, the protesters seemed a little calmer than previous night when violent protests rocked the country. The country has been witnessing outrage against the first ever curfew since World War, imposed to tackle an uptick in COVID-19 cases. Netherlands has registered over 9,56,000 cases of COVID-19 with more than 13,000 deaths due to it. Well, Portugal's government was urged to transfer COVID-19 patients abroad on Tuesday as deaths hit a record high and the oxygen supply system of a large hospital near Lisbon partly failed from overuse. COVID-19 fatalities in the last 24 hours reached a record 291, bringing the total tally to 65,300 cases and 11,012 deaths. It now has the world's highest 7-day average of cases and deaths per million people. Portugal's Health Minister, Marta Temindo, has said that the Portuguese government is triggering all mechanisms available, including in the international framework, to ensure it provides the best assistance to patients. On to sports stories, Manchester City moved to the top of the English Premier League for the first time this season after thrashing West Bromwich Albion 5-0 last night. The in-form Gundogan scored twice, while João Cancelo, Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling also netted for City in an inspired attack display, playing away. City climbed a point above Manchester United, which can reclaim the first place by beating Sheffield United later tonight after 11th straight victory in all competitions and the 7th in a row in the English Premier League. It is City's longest winning run for more than 3 years, and it sent an ominous signal or a message to the team's title rivals, even as Kevin De Bruyne's absence through injury is not affecting the team. In contrast, West Bromwich have now lost its last 5 top-flight home games, its worst run there at home in the Premier League in 17 years, while conceding 22 goals in the process. West Bromwich remains second from bottom and 6 points from relegation. Staying with football and moving to Chelsea, who have appointed former Paris Saint-Germain boss Thomas Tuchel as their new manager on an 18-month contract with an option to extend it. He won 2 league titles, the French Cup and the French League Cup at Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea sacked Frank Lampard on Monday after 18 months in charge following a run of 1 win in 5 league matches. The German becomes the 11th full-time manager appointed by Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich since the billionaire brought the club in 2003. He will be in the dugout at Stamford Bridge for Wednesday. That's tonight's Premier League match with Wolverhampton. Well, back home, the magical thing about home is that it feels good to leave, and when and it feels even better to return. But 65-year-old Hasina Begum's story is slightly different when it comes to leaving home. 18 years ago, she went to Pakistan to meet her relatives but lost her passport, which she couldn't afford to get back. Hasina was then apprehended on allegations of illegally infiltrating into Pakistan. She has been relieved from Pakistan's jail last week on the basis of a report filed by the Aurangabad police in Maharashtra. The police presented all proofs of Hasina's nationality to Pakistan. Hasina received warm welcome on a return to home after spending 18 years in darkness. Her family had always left the light open in their hearts in hope of her return. Hasina has expressed gratitude to Aurangabad police.
औरंगाबाद की पुलिस का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। अरे जबरदस्ती पकड़ के ले गए थे मेरे को। अरे हमारे साथ तो बहुत जुल्म हुआ, ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे जन्नत में आ गए।
Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news. You take good care of yourself. Have a safe and wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.